All right, well, thank you all for inviting me here, and I'm really excited to come here. It's been a long time since I've been to your campus. As a matter of fact, it was before your current clinic was built. So it's all very fun to see where things are going. It's really quite an impressive hospital that you have. I'm going to start my presentation with just an introduction. Now, we're not advancing the slides here. There it should be, but I'm not. Oh, there it is. Okay. Great. So we're going to talk a little bit about the medical care of working dogs, but in order to talk about that, we're going to define what we call working dogs. When I was at the Westminster Dog Show a couple years ago, people were saying it's not the working group, which we find that most working dogs actually don't fit in the working group. They fit in the sporting or herding dogs. So we need to think about what is the definition of a working dog. And it is a dog that has a job. Now, a lot of dogs have jobs, some more serious than others. So we'll talk about the serious jobs, and then we'll divert into some of the less serious jobs. So when I think about the different jobs that dogs have, we really think, most commonly when people think of a working dog, at least up until the last several years, people would think of guide dogs. That was the classic working dog. And so the service dogs are a very important component of the working dogs that we're thinking about, guide dogs being classic, but it's really expanded beyond simply the guide dogs. And so what we can think about are the other working dogs, hearing assistance dogs, dogs for people who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, any of these other assistance dogs. They do amazing things for people, and they fit under this assistance category. The next category is the detection and search dogs, and that's really where my focus is. We'll talk in quite a bit of detail to help you understand their jobs so that it can help us understand what the veterinary medical needs are for those dogs. The last group of real professional dogs I tend to think about are the protection dogs. So these are the police dogs, the military dogs that are doing protection work, but there's a sport as well, and that's the Schutzhund group that does, it's not only Schutzhund, but ring sport and IPO and all of these other sports that mimic what the protection dogs do, and we'll talk a little bit about those dogs as well, because you may be seeing those dogs in your practices, and they have some of the similar issues that the military or the police working dogs do. Typically, in this country, most of our herding dogs are for sport, but there still are herding dogs that are herding as their jobs, and so that we need to think about what kind of issues they might have. Sled dogs, again, mostly we focus on the sport, but they are still a functional working dog in some situations. They have very unique characteristics and unique needs. And then there's a whole bunch of sports, and dog sports have grown dramatically. How many people here participate in dog sports? What do you participate in? Agility? Love it. Obedience? Fantastic.
They would call it their sledding, but dog rushing.
Fabulous. Absolutely. That's so much fun. I wish we had the opportunity to do more of that in Pennsylvania. Most of our mushing groups in Pennsylvania have to use the carts with wheels because there's just not enough snow. Anybody else doing any kind of sports? Yes. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And the people that do that kind of work sport are very invested in their dogs, as you well know. And if you haven't had that experience, you'll find out that it is a huge investment of time, money, and emotion into these dogs. All right, so just briefly, when we're talking about protection dogs, we're really focusing on the dogs in the military and the police. There are private protection firms that do provide these kinds of dogs. And what they're doing is they're really, a lot of it is deterrence. But they are trained, and you're going to see a demonstration later this morning of the bite work and really amazing control over dogs with their ability to send these dogs to bite, to hold, and release on command, as well as the ability for the dog to recognize when their handler's threatened and spontaneously initiate a bite. They're fascinating to watch. but they're also a little scary. And so when they come in to the clinic, we always keep them with their handler. We definitely talk to them about whether we're going to be using muzzles or not. Most of these dogs are trained to wear a muzzle. And so it's a big relationship and a discussion that we have with their handler. We never remove them from their handler when we're doing our physical exam. Even for x-rays or ultrasound, the handler will accompany these dogs. I've got this wonderful video. This was the Belgian military, but I'm not going to show it to you because you're going to see a real live demonstration. So I'd rather save that time to talk about other things. If we have time or at the break, if someone would like to see the video, these dogs just boggled my mind. They were so precise and so under control.